Mohammed Fayed is now certain that Princess Diana was pregnant by Dodi, which would have provided a motive for the royal family to arrange her murder. He began by claiming that the royal family could not envisage the possibility of a Muslim child by the mother of the future King of England. Then he made a claim that shocked the world.
There's some talk that Diana was pregnant. What do you think and what do you know about that?
Definitely.
She was?
Definitely.
Dodi's child?
Definitely. And Dodi has confirmed this to me.
He told
Already.
A photo taken that summer appears to show Diana with a possible bump, which helped to start the rumours after she died. But what's the evidence? Channel 4 has spoken to people who know.
Do you think it's possible she could have been pregnant?
No, I know for an absolute fact that she could not have been pregnant. Because when we were on the boat, which was 10 days before she died, she had her period. So she could not have been pregnant.
On her last day in England, Diana visited Dr. Lily Yu. She had treated the princess here in Camden for 18 months for premenstrual tension.
Diana saw me on the 21st of August, and she was not pregnant then. It would not have been possible for her to be so when she died.
The crucial medical evidence comes from her autopsy. Diana's body was flown home to Britain on the day she died, and her post-mortem took place at the Fulham Mortuary in London. Working with the Home Office pathologist was the mortuary manager, Robert Thompson. He speaks to British TV for the first time.
Diana's body didn't arrive until 8 o'clock in the evening, so it was a very long day. We simply finished Dodi's post-mortem, cleaned down, disinfected the mortuary and prepared it for Diana's arrival. The internal examination proceeded much as they always do. The organs were removed, in this case, as they always are, by the pathologist, Dr. Chapman, with myself only providing assistance where necessary. Dr. Chapman removed the organs and then examined them on a dissecting bench very closely. Dr. Chapman and I were standing opposite each other over the body. Dr. Chapman, in situ, divided the uterus, looked up and said, "Oh, well, she wasn't pregnant," in a voice that was not just directed at me, but at the room in general.
Also at the post-mortem was former Royal Coroner Dr. John Burton, who recently stated categorically that Diana was not pregnant. Channel 4 has discovered that the only post-mortem that took place was in Fulham. The French medics had more pressing concerns when Diana was admitted. Thierry Maurès was the hospital spokesman at the time of her death.
When this type of patient arrives, pregnant or not, the only goal of the hospital is to save her life. And when you don't know the blood group, you don't do a blood test, you give what we call universal blood. We always have a reserve of blood which can be given to anyone without any problem. So our sole concern was not to discover whether she was pregnant, but to save her life. We didn't do any tests to see if she were pregnant, so no one can know whether she was or not.
So what of that photograph, which allegedly supported the rumour? That turns out to have been taken on the 14th of July 97, before Diana had met up with Dodi in France. However, Fayed has told people across the world that Princess Diana was pregnant.
She was pregnant, and I know that. Yeah.
How did you know that?
She told me on the phone.
She told you on the phone?
Yeah.
Totally convinced of the motive for murder, Fayed cannot see the event in Paris as a simple traffic accident. But an exhaustive 2-year French investigation has left no room for doubt. Blood tests concluded that the driver of Diana's car was more than 3 times over the drink-drive limit. He was also taking prescription drugs, which warn users not to drink. He lost control of the Mercedes as it sped into the Alma tunnel at more than twice the speed limit. The French investigation found a Ritz bar bill for 2 glasses of Ricard for Paul's table. Princess Diana's bodyguard said they were unaware that Paul was drinking alcohol, as his Ricard looked like pineapple juice. Paul's autopsy made it clear that he had consumed far more than those 2 glasses. But Fayed has disputed this in receptive US TV interviews.
You see him on a video, I see he's complete 100% super fine, talking to everybody, giving instruction to everyone. But he changed the blood of Henry Paul with somebody else.
Could the French have possibly switched the blood samples in the labs? Could the official investigation itself be contaminated? Channel 4 approached the head of the French police investigation to find out. Jean-Claude Moulez secured the crash site on the night and later attended Henri Paul's autopsy. In his first ever TV interview, we asked him, could there have been a blood swap?
Impossible. The rigor with which the sampling procedure is conducted body by body make it impossible. Every corpse has a reference, a registration number, a name, a forename, and a registration number.
Numéro d'enregistrement. À partir de là, les services, disons, administratifs.
In addition, the administration prints a sticky identity label. First name, registration number, all of which are done in real time.
À identifier les prélèvements qui sont faits en temps réel.
Henri Paul's parents were shocked at the idea of their son being drunk, so the investigating judge Hervé Stéphan double-checked the results. He personally supervised the analysis of a second set of samples from Paul's corpse. To remove all doubt, he recorded the entire process on video.
The second set of results on the autopsy confirmed within a tenth of a milligram the first set.
Other findings from the autopsy were selectively leaked by Fayed. It is argued that the blood must have been taken from the wrong man, as there was a strangely high level of carbon monoxide in Paul's blood. Had his level been that high, he would have appeared unstable and hardly able to walk. There were 2 levels of carbon monoxide taken from 2 parts of the body. One was high, 20.7%, and one was low, 12.8%. Averaged out, they would be consistent with a heavy smoker. Henri Paul was seen smoking throughout the evening by both bodyguards and paparazzi. The French investigation concluded that the levels were of no significance. Commander Moulez has no doubt about the conclusions.
Personally, I go back to the authority of the judge's findings. It was a traffic accident, which is sad. But from the legal point of view, a traffic accident, as I've said. Full stop.
Immediately after the accident and before any facts were known, the investigative journalist Tom Bauer penetrated the closed world of the Ritz.
And I was told to report to an airfield where the Harrods helicopter would be taken off. We got to Paris. I was taken straight to the Ritz. I waited around for about an hour, and then I was taken into a room and told, this is where all the staff will meet you. And one by one, all the senior staff, the low staff, everyone who'd come into contact with Diana and Dodie on that fateful day were brought into the room for me to interview. The atmosphere in the Ritz, you can imagine, was pretty tense. The staff were absolutely shaken. It was an extraordinary opportunity to sit there and talk to them all, even before they talked to the police. The police hadn't yet got to the Ritz. So I sat and talked to them one by one as they came in.
Bauer discovered by talking to bodyguard Kes Wingfield the critical decisions that had immediately preceded Diana's last journey. They were decisions that would haunt Fayed forevermore.